hopefully I don't blabber because I just want to talk about some things, And it's not all written down, so here goes. At the beginning of the year, each year our church, we have a theme for the year, and our pastor chose the theme, or the theme was chosen, the amazing race and getting big in God. And we have a Daniel fast like most church does at the beginning of the year. And I embarked upon that fast for the first time. We've been at this church, Trinity Christian Center. I can shout out my church name for I think 4 years now, and this year is the first time my family and I did the corporate fast with the church. We used to do the fast with our church that we went to before, and when we started Trinity, it was different things, me not being too well or in school and all of that, but God really laid it on my heart to really do this fast. And usually our children go on the fast with us, but they weren't really prepared, because usually we're telling them from December, come January, we're going to go on this fast. But anyways, God was really speaking to me with the fast when it was coming up that, Cynthia, you really need to be at church. It's 21 days to be at church for the 21 days. And in my mind, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to be at church for 21 days every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. And I was like, okay, I know this person lives close to the church. They can probably let me in on a Saturday and, and on a Sunday after church and all of that. And during the week, I can come and ask someone in the office to let me in. And going through all of this, and, we're in church one Sunday, and pastor even talking about the fast again, and it came in my mind again, you need to be at the church for 21 days. And just even right after that, I tell you, God will make a way. When he tells you to do something, he already has a way made for you. You don't have to do any planning. And my pastor, he just said he's going to open the church for 21 days. I just thought that meant just for me. I didn't care who else was going to be at the church. I was just like, I'm going to be here for 21 days. Pastor's talking about me. God made this way for me. And for 21 days, I was at that church every single solitary day, no matter the circumstance. I was there because I knew it was time in 2018 for me to get closer to God, for me to walk away from certain things, and for certain things to no longer bother me, and for me to just get big in God. I really took that seriously, and God was really working in me. And for the 21 days, I could hear God so clearly. And I mean, we fasted. We really fasted. Some people go on fast and they're still eating grains. No, it was strictly fruits and vegetables for 21 days for us. That's what we did. I figured out how to make meals with veggies, and that was it. We didn't compromise. I think the first Sunday we had rice, and I'm like, we're not having grain. We're just gonna do this fast. And my husband came on board, and our oldest daughter Janessa came on board, and she did this fast with us. The younger kids, we didn't force them, except dinner. They would have whatever we made for dinner, but because they weren't prepared. But anyways, so many things has happened since then spiritually for me. I can see myself spiritually growing. But don't you know, with growth comes obstacles. With growth comes test. To who much is given, much is required. And that's why, you always see people running down titles and want to be this and want to be that. And I'm like, I don't want to be nothing, because if you give me a title, that's going to be more work for me, because who much is given, much is required. I always took that like totally literally. So, things have been coming up, and sometimes those things become so heavy. They become so burdensome, and you're saying, God, why? Why? In those 21 days, I saw things so clearly, and I heard from you so clearly. And, sometimes you expect this way to just magically open and for everything to go smoothly, but that's not the way of life. And I've been listening to Michael W. Smith. He has this song, Surrounded, Fight My Battles. And there's a line, it says, it may look like I'm surrounded. Surrounded by the enemy, surrounded by guilt, surrounded by shame, surrounded by rejection, just surrounded. But but I'm surrounded by you. So I want to tell you, people out there, no matter what it looks like you are surrounded by, know that you are surrounded by God. And whatever it is that's holding you hostage, know that God is there with you through it all. So don't be afraid. Don't look to the left or right. Just truly keep your focus. And that's why I just been hearing that song. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It's not what it looks like, people. It really isn't. God is there with us when we at our weakest. That's when we know God is with us. That's when we know He's carrying us, because we can't do it within our own strength. And our pastor's been preaching on I will run to the battle. And I know I made a post about David running towards Goliath, and that came so alive to me, seeing it on that screen that day, that David ran towards that giant. He wasn't afraid. He was like, this is God. This is what God's going to do. It wasn't what David was going to do. It was God, what God was going to do. And so that is how we have to run towards our giant, but we have to be so built up in God that it's not Cynthia, it's not whosoever. It's all about God. And when we know that it's all about God, and when we know that God is with us, and when we know that we are equipped with the equipments of God, we can run to the battle. We can run towards our giant, because all David had was his sling and 5 stones, 5 smooth stones, not no rocks. He had 5 smooth stones, and I don't know what smooth stones could do. And that's how you know that it had nothing to do with David, and it had all to do with God. And so I just want to tell you guys, just focus on God. Whatever it is that God told you to do, just do it. He will make a way out of no way. If He said do it, He will make a way. Running on not-for-profit, I'm going to tell you guys, it's not easy. It is really a difficult job, because you really rely on people to give you donations, and I'm working with, or organization is working with people in our organization that's aligned with Princesses and Ladies, or working with a population of girls and women it's sometimes hard to reach. And sometimes you just think, why am I doing this? Where is the money going to come from? I am tired. There's resources out there. There's people out there that in the city of Zion that are doing stuff that won't help, and you're just like, everybody, I hate the one hand wash the other. I really hate, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Where are the people that just do things just because? That just say, you know what, you're doing something good, let me help you make it. Let me open this door for you. But I always realize that it's not you. It's not people. People can't open the door. God will. And even when somebody is standing in front of the door holding it shut because they don't want you to get in for whatever reason, know that God is going to open it. And it's people out in the world, it's people in the church, because whatever it is they see on you that they think is going to overtake their position, even though you do not want anything to do with their position. There's just some people that are just so threatened by people who are strong. And I am strong, and I talk strongly. And sometimes people just feel like, oh no, I can't have her speak, I can't have her say, because she will overshadow. And it's like, the world is a big stage. I keep saying that. The world is a big stage, and we all have a purpose. And if we all know what our purpose is and walk in that purpose, it is going to take nothing away from us to help someone else make it, to call someone else's name. I love to collaborate with people. If I know you're good at something, I'm going to say, I know that person, they're good at that, go there. I know this gym, I know this person that does a good job at helping people get to their ideal weight, go there. I know this educator, go to her. That's me. But I find that people will not call your name if they believe that it's going to jeopardize them in some way. But Cynthia's purpose is Cynthia's purpose, honey. Your purpose is your purpose. So if you're fulfilling your purpose, my purpose will not affect you. The race is ran by each and every one of us. And some of us think that if Cynthia makes it before, or if Jane makes it across the finish line before me, she has won. She has won the race and I have lost. No, because the race in life is not about who wins or loses. The race in life is about crossing the finish line. And the truth is, we each have different times when we have to cross that finish line. Because in the race of life, there's going to be obstacles. We're going to have to jump over hurdles. And there's going to be obstacle courses where we have to climb mountains, where we have to swim across oceans. And some of us cannot swim. So some of us is going to have to stop to build canoes. And those of us who can't build canoes are going to have to figure out ways to build parachutes to get over that ocean. And if we can't build parachutes, we have to take the long way around the ocean. So it's going to take us a longer time to reach the finish line. But it doesn't matter if someone else can jump in that ocean and swim. It really doesn't matter. It just matters that we take the course that we're supposed to take and we get to the finish line when we're supposed to get there. Because the person that jumps in that water, they have their own difficulties to deal with. If we have to walk around, if we have to build a canoe, if we have to figure out a way to build a parachute, that is our course in life. That is the course that we have to take. And sometimes we have to push someone else across the finish line before us, because that is our purpose in life, is to push that person before us. And until we realize that, people, we're going to keep going around in circles. And we may cross the finish line and realize that we still have another lap to go because we defaulted, because we missed the obstacle course back there. We missed a jump that we should have done. We missed a mountain that we should have climbed. So we're not equipped even though we went across the finish line, and we may have to start over. So don't worry about the people that are in front of you, and the people, if you speak their name and promote them and talk about them, that they're going to go ahead of you. No, sister, no, brother, they are not. Let's run this race together. Let's care enough about somebody else to talk about who they are and what they do. I feel like we could do so much more together if we do it together. Instead of each of us trying to figure out how to run our race on our own, how to build our brands, how to build our names, and we care nothing about the other person. Some of us, we're good at cheering people on. Oh my God, as long as they're behind us, we're going to cheer them on. Oh, even if they're close beside us, we're going to cheer them on. But if they ever get ahead of us, that's when you find many people start worrying. Many people start, They have a problem with supporting people if they get ahead of us just a little. They have a problem with collaborating. And don't tell everybody your dreams. That's another posting for another time. Don't tell everybody your dreams, because some people gonna snatch your dreams. Some people going to shut down your dreams, but that's another posting. So I just really want to say to people, the moment you think that you are surrounded, look again, because that's when you are surrounded by God. So just focus on that. Focus on running your race, not to win, but to get to the finish line when you are supposed to get to your finish line. Not prematurely and not delayed, but when you are supposed to get there. That's where I'm at, people. That's where I'm at. When things seem like they're not going to work out, I just go to God. I just focus on God. I put my eyes on him and I say, God, you said. You put me in this position. You laid this on my heart. You said. So you're going to have to help Cynthia find the way. You're going to have to make the way. And sometimes even though I don't have to say anything, he just puts it in my lap. And that's the easy time. And the hard time is to just wait on him, for him to say, but I just have to believe. And that's where I'm at, and that's where I want you to be, people. Just believe that if God says so, if you really heard from God and you're not just acting in your own will, God will make the way. So run that amazing race and run towards the battle. Run towards your giant, but make sure that you are equipped with God. Be surrounded by God, you guys. Fight. God is fighting those battles for you. Love you. Go look the song up. It's beautiful. Michael W. Smith, Surrounded. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. Fight my battles. Fight your battle. He said, put on praise. So just put on the praise and let God do it.